it's so worth it because of the results.
So here we are with Zoe McKenna. Yeah, do you want to give yourself a brief introduction?
Yeah, so I've obviously had like gut issues for quite a long time. I've had like problems with my gut for maybe the past like 12 years. And I've been on a little bit of a journey with my gut. I've kind of I researched a lot about gut health myself. I cut out gluten like around 4 years ago now. And that made a huge difference. Like I was obviously intolerant to gluten. Um, and then that made a huge difference. I cut out a lot of dairy, and yeah, I was just getting loads of like what I was getting was like burning sensation. It felt like I kept saying to the doctor, like it feels like there's fire in my belly, like it feels like someone's lighting a torch. That's what it felt like to me. And then I just had the same old like, oh, you've got IBS. I had Helicobacter pylori like quite a few times. So this was like near the start. They'd give me antibiotics when I didn't really like know that antibiotics were like really bad at causing more harm. And then they tried to give me like loads of omeprazole, lansoprazole, all of the things, to try and stop this burning sensation. And I was never really one for medication. So I just kind of like decided to try and do it like the more natural way with food. And yeah, I did get to like a good stage, but then when I got COVID a year ago, it all flared up again. And that's how I got back into the cycle of having issues again.
Yeah. And what other problems and challenges did you come across? Like I know you said you had burning in the stomach. You had some food intolerances, didn't you? And some food reactions or bloating, or do you have any other symptoms?
Like I had a lot of skin issues, so I was getting like, acne coming out on my skin. I was like had a lot of like mental issues, so like brain fog, memory loss, really irritated and angry all the time. Obviously, it was coming from that, but at the time, I just didn't know. I was very like short with people. Just felt irritated all the time. I mean, I did have a little bit of bloating and things, but that wasn't really the main issue. It was like I would with certain foods, but it was more the kind of mental and skin issues for me that was the worst, because it was like I couldn't get on with my day, I couldn't get on with my work, I couldn't I was getting really irritated with the kids, I was getting really snappy and sharp with them, and I didn't know like why I was like always irritated. Yeah, my brain fog and memory loss was really, really bad.
Wow, it's amazing how the intestines are just affects all of your body. Like obviously you said your skin, but like mentally as well. If you're having digestive issues like that burning, it shows there's inflammation in the intestines, and then when you got inflammation in the intestines, you get inflammation in the blood. Inflammation in the blood, it supplies your brain. You get an inflamed brain, and life gets a lot harder. Why did you decide to work with like us? Like why did you decide to take the Qenda?
After COVID, like I got really, really ill with COVID, like about all immune kind of symptoms that I had with it. Like I was really, really nauseous for like I had to go in the hospital because I came dehydrated because I couldn't even drink water. It was that bad. And like my skin came out in rashes and things like that. So after I had COVID, like everything just flared up again, and I couldn't get myself back, to the place I was. My skin flared up, then my back started breaking out in like massive, like big, like spots or hives or whatever. I'd never really had that before, and I was like, it's obviously something happening. And then I had candida again, and I'd done a few tests to find out like I had leaky gut. So I was just like, this is so hard. I did like a little bit of a candida cleanse and things, but I mean, it's hard. It's not sustainable to be doing that long term. So then obviously when I went to that event, we went to an event, and then someone had told me about what you did, and it was a lot of gut stuff. And then you're always a little bit skeptical at first because you're like, oh, just another one of these like, you know, detoxes or like intense things that you're going to have to cut everything out your diet, and it's going to be so hard. But then obviously I looked into it, I realized it was all natural herbs, and obviously the results and things. And after speaking to you, I felt like, yeah, this is definitely something that I need, because I needed to target the the problem that was happening inside, rather than just taking more prebiotics and probiotics and things that aren't actually healing the problem. So yeah, that's when obviously you explained everything, and I felt like this was definitely something I needed to try.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks for explaining that. And yeah, I went through it myself. I was spending like 11 grand on probiotics every single year for like 4 years, and obviously you were spending a lot of money on probiotics as well. And the marketing tells you that have these probiotics, they'll do all the battling and the work, and then you'll be fine. And people get stuck in that cycle of just trying different ones and just thinking, oh yeah, a little bit longer, it'll fix itself. But
Yeah.
yeah, I actually explained that we need to cut the probiotics out for now, don't we? And cleanse the body first. And I love how you said that you wasn't really interested in the cleanse when you first got presented with it. And I was exactly the same. When I got showed it in Australia, I was like, nice one. I don't want your cure-alls. I just want your nutritional advice. And it's funny
Yeah.
how, we can, actually make the right decision in the end. So what did you like about the Qenda?
So I like that you could see results, quite quick. Like obviously what like it does is it helps obviously flush everything out. So it was quite good that, sometimes people say, oh, you have to wait like months and months till you can see things. And I quite like to know that something's happening straight away. Even if it's not, I'm not like expecting miracles. Like, my skin's not going to clear up within a few days and I'm not going to have all these changes, but you can definitely see that, something was happening without going into too much detail of how it works, but you can see that it's flushing it out. Like, being honest, it doesn't taste nice. Like, I don't like the taste of it, but it's so worth it because of the results. It's so, like, I feel like everyone you expect things to be nice all the time, but I think if it's going to be nice, it's probably not actually doing anything. Natural things do have that funny taste, and it's just something that you get used to, and you just know that it's for your better health and it's actually working and it's doing the job that it needs to do, rather than taking something for you're not taking it for enjoyment purpose. You're taking it to heal you. You're taking it to do the job that it's meant to do. And I quite like the fact that you don't have to change your diet that much. I mean, it depends on, obviously I eat quite a healthy diet anyway. I've already cut out all the additive preservatives. Like, I don't eat gluten, don't eat much dairy. I mean, I do like a little bit of sugar, but I've still been having the odd bit of more natural sugars and things like that, and I don't feel like it's so extreme. Like some cleanses where you have to just cut everything out and you can't have a treat ever. Like, it's a bit more realistic.
Yeah, it's more about like freedom, because a lot of people say they have the answers for stuff, and you have to live such a restricted life, and that's a lot of what puts people off about starting the Qenda. They're like, oh well, Christmas is coming up, I don't want to start it yet because I want to enjoy myself at Christmas. And it's like, actually, if you get your digestive system better and you use this, you can actually enjoy some foods a lot more, and then when you do enjoy them foods, you're not going to suffer as much. And but you've already you was like the opposite end of the scale. You'd already cut everything out, and then you're still suffering. So we needed to deal with the stuff that was inside there, these toxicities that needed to come out. So so thankful that you got started. So what results did you get from taking the Qenda?
So obviously I'm still in my journey. I've been on, I think, maybe 5 weeks now. And I've already, like, my back, all those things have been, like, it's all started clearing up. I also feel like I don't feel like any bloated. I feel like everything's moving well, like the things I'm eating. I just feel a lot, calmer, and I feel, like obviously all the issues that I was facing are now reducing and reducing. It's like the more I'm on it. So I'm definitely seeing like great results already, and I've still, obviously I've got 4 months like to take with it, so there's still a way to go. But even in that time, like, there's been massive results. Like, I'm not feeling irritated, and I'm not feeling like self-conscious about having like spots and things on my back, because it's all started clearing away. And like, it's not painful or anything anymore. Like, it's just, I feel like I'm actually healing now.
Yeah, oh, I love to hear it. And like what's happening on the skin is a window of what's going on the inside. So if we can sort out your insides and get rid of these toxicities, these overgrowths, candida, whatever was in there creating the problems, we no longer have the symptoms and issues showing on the skin. So, and yeah, that didn't sound fun like what you just described.
Yeah.
So thankful that yeah, you're getting results. So what do you think the consequences would have been if you hadn't started taking the Qenda?
I'd be feeling really down, irritated, which kind of affects all areas. Like I run my own, I've got like 2 businesses, I've got 3 kids, like I've got a lot, to manage, and I've got to be there for a lot of people. So if I'm not feeling good within myself, it means that, everyone else is going to suffer. So like the businesses aren't going to run smooth. I'm going to be, not managing a team very well, and I'm not going to be a good mom. Like if like my mental space and physical health isn't there, I mean, it like is a consequence for everyone else. So I feel like I need to like prioritize that and make sure that like my health is, I mean, your health is like the most important thing. I always say like
Yeah.
like I don't know why you would invest, on material things but not invest in your health. Like I always invest in my health no matter what. Like if it's like buying organic chicken or, choosing like the more expensive food, because it's like it is, what you put in your body is going to be the cause of so many other things. I feel like it's such a important part that people, because they can't physically see it, or maybe they're not suffering as much with pain, it's they feel like it's fine, they're fine, but then it'll all come out, and it'll all come out at some stage, and come out in illnesses and diseases in some way.
I find with a lot of people I talk to, because it's like happened incrementally over time, they do just put up with it. They just think it's normal. They think it's getting old or whatever, and they don't realize like everybody you speak to that's got an illness or a disease or symptoms, they say, "Oh well, I'm fine. I'm dealing with it. Like I'm managing it." And like full well when someone says that they're in a bad place. But it's just how you mentally deal with it on the daily. If you said you were suffering every day, you won't be able to get out of bed. But it's like you have to tell yourself you're okay, even though you're not. So it's a very good point that like I'm exactly the same as you. No matter what it takes, you want to feel as good as possible, as much as possible. So how is Qenda different to the other products and stuff that you've tried before?
I've never actually done like a parasite cleanse as such. Most of the time it's just been like supplements, probiotics, and I feel like with Qenda you can actually see the difference happening, like you can see it working, whereas with other things like you don't know what's actually going on, because it's all like it's just in your body, but you can't see inside your body, so you don't know if anything's happening. So the good thing with Qenda is like you can actually see what's happening inside, like you can see what's coming out with the product, and you can see it working and changing. And obviously with it being a drink as well, it's different than taking tablets every single, like all the time. And it's like once you've done it, like once you've done the drink, like you're fine, like you can go on the rest of your day and just have your nice meals and stuff. It's not like you're just having 2 drinks and you're not allowed to eat, like some things you just have to have liquids or not eat anything, but you can still eat your meals and everything, which is quite good.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? Because yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Trying all this different stuff, they're like, oh yeah, just commit to it, and you've cut out all these things that you enjoy in life, and then you just sort of like you're like, oh, but it'll be worth it to get better when you try other products, and then you come to the end of it and you're like, oh wow, well, I don't really feel much better. And I say to everyone, keep an eye on what comes out in the toilet, because that'll explain what's going on inside your body. And like you said, it's it's good for that. So last question, who would you suggest takes the Qenda?
Anyone that's really having any sort of issues, like not even just with your gut, but mental issues, like if you're feeling irritated all the time, or you're feeling like there's something going on, or if you're having skin issues, like eczema, acne, anything that's happening. I mean, I've already recommended 2 people to Qenda that have got completely different symptoms to me, and now I've came on and bought it, because I mean, and there's people in my work, I speak to clients all the time, and I know for a fact it's like gut issues that they're suffering with. A lot of people don't know where to start, or they don't know what, like, their first port of call is the doctor, and then the doctor doesn't know like anything really about gut health because obviously they're generalists. So I think it's like, because I know there's someone in my, like, one of my employees is like, she's suffering a lot of similar stuff as well, and I know that definitely, you know, related to the gut, but it's like, it's hard because it's a little bit of a journey to understand, you know, what's happening. And I don't think there's a lot of education out there to, you know, to tell people what's actually, it's all, most, probably 80% or 90% of people's problems is all because of their gut. Even all the mental health problems that people are suffering with now, it's, I think it's all to do with the food that's been sold and all the stuff that's in things that are not, like, that are artificial. And so yeah, I think like so many people could benefit from it. It's just the fact of, you know, that getting that education out there and getting people to understand what's actually happening, you know, as a result of their gut, and that it's causing other issues, you know, in their body.
Yeah, exactly. And totally agree with you. That there's just so much needless suffering out there because people just think it is how it is, but they don't realize that, like you said earlier, how you mentally you feel better. Like when we get an inflamed brain from inflammation through the intestines, inflammation in the blood, like clinical definition of like depression is an inflamed brain. So even if we're really strong-minded and stuff, if our intestines aren't right, it's going to be getting other levels. So yeah, thank you for spreading the word about it. And yeah, do you want to share like your Instagram and your YouTube and stuff like that in case anyone wants to follow you some more?
Yeah, so I'm Zoe X McKenna on Instagram and just Zoe McKenna on YouTube.
Thanks a lot for that, Zoe. Appreciate it. Thank you.